Hi kids, you probably think Miss Leochner looks pretty different today. Well, that's because I picked this background with all the bright yellow brush strokes because we're going to learn about the artist Vincent van Gogh today. Vincent van Gogh was a painter during what we call the post-impressionist period. He loved to use bright yellows and blues in his artwork. Some of his more famous paintings we're going to look at, you will be able to see all those blues and yellows and sometimes even oranges and reds in them. So let's take a look at Vincent van Gogh's artwork, and then after we do that, we're going to create a drawing based on one of his most famous paintings of sunflowers. So I'll see you then. This is a self-portrait of Vincent van Gogh. He was a Dutch artist in the post-impressionist time period. The Impressionists were known for creating bright colors and creating paintings that weren't very realistic looking. The post-impressionists started to change that style a little bit by creating all those brush strokes that we can see here in Vincent van Gogh's face and in the background. Vincent van Gogh had many jobs before he actually became a painter. When he finally decided that painting was going to be the career that he wanted to pursue, he moved to a small village in France and painted a lot of the countryside and people there. So we're going to take a look at a couple of his paintings. This is a painting called Cypress. Cypress was a type of tree where Vincent van Gogh lived. This was one of his last paintings that he created. If you notice, you can see the swirling brush strokes, which we know was part of the post-impressionist style. We can see the bright colors, which our impressionist friends like Monet introduced us to. And we can also see that while the tree might be somewhat realistic looking, the sky definitely is not. It has a lot of swirls in it, and then the big crescent shape in the sky. Now I want you to pay attention to this tree and the shapes in the sky, because our next painting, you're going to see the same things repeated in this great artwork of Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh's most famous painting, Starry Night. We're going to zoom into Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night and take a little bit of a closer up look through our Google Arts app. So here's the actual painting of Starry Night. How many of you see that same cypress tree? Yep, it's right there on the left. And then to the right, we can see the moon and the stars all have the same swirling motions around them, just like the clouds did in that sunny sky on the cypress painting. The background that Vincent van Gogh created with the swirls adds a dreamlike effect to the painting. It makes your imagination wonder what magic is happening on this night. Down here in the bottom of the painting, in the midground and the foreground, you can see he painted the city. Again, we see those colors of yellows and blues, like I was telling you about, that Vincent van Gogh was famous for. So here is the village. You can see there's a church. Again, we see those big, thick brush strokes that Vincent van Gogh made. I see lots of different type of lines. Can you tell me 3 types of lines you see? Yeah, we see diagonal lines. We see lines that are going vertical. And then we even see some horizontal lines and some curving lines. Over here's the cypress tree again. Let's look really closely here, and you tell me what value we are looking at. Are we looking at a value of red? No. Are we looking at a value of brown? No. We're looking at a value of blue, right? Here's our lightest shade of blue. Then here's kind of our middle tone shade of blue. Then we see just another little shade of blue right here. And then finally, this dark blue that looks almost black. Pretty cool. We've seen lots of elements of art already. What shape do we see that the stars make? That's right, a circle shape. And then right here, look at that texture that's created by Vincent van Gogh's paintbrush. You can see he put the brush down and then lifted it up really quickly to make all the different lines and the textures. That's pretty cool, isn't it? All right, we're gonna look at one more Vincent van Gogh painting now. And this one is gonna be the one that inspires us for our artwork today. All right, this painting is going to be our inspiration today. This is Van Gogh's Sunflowers painting. He actually has several sunflowers painting. He painted the sunflowers over and over again, and it was a popular subject for him. I thought since we're having some warmer weather and we want to celebrate springtime coming, sunflowers are a great way to do that and add some lovely cheer to our homes this week. So let's take a look closer in. So as you can see, Van Gogh really just used lots of different values of yellow. How many of you can see the dark yellow? Yeah, point to where it is. How many of you see the medium tone of yellow? How about the lighter tone? Yeah, they're all in there. We see a little green for the stems, and then we also see some white down for the bottom of the vase. So we are going to make our own sunflower drawing today, and I can't wait to bring some cheer to your houses with the Vincent van Gogh inspired sun drawing. Okay, here we are. I'm going to use a Sharpie today. You don't have to. You use what you have around the house. So that might be a pencil, might be a marker, could even be a crayon, and we're going to create our Vincent van Gogh drawing today. So I'm first going to actually start with my sunflowers because those are the main subject of my drawing. You'd think I would start with the vase, but I actually want to have plenty of room for all my sunflowers first, and then I'm going to add my vase in towards the bottom. So I'm going to draw a sunflower here, kind of in the middle of my page to set up my drawing and where I'm going to create all the sunflowers from. So I'm going to put a circle here, and then the sunflower shapes were kind of oval shapes, but they were a little more pointed at the end. So I'm gonna create my sunflower petals all the way around. Okay, this is my first little sunflower. So I'm gonna move up a little bit and to the right, and I'm actually gonna make a bigger sunflower because if you think back to Van Gogh's original painting, he had sunflowers with all kinds of different sizes and shapes, and they even looked a little bit different from each other. He had several kinds of varieties of sunflowers. And remember, when we add variety to our artwork, that's what makes it interesting. So for this sunflower, I'm actually going to draw two circles. I'm going to draw a great big circle here. And then I'm going to draw a smaller circle on the inside. And then I'm actually going to draw some lines all the way around, just some straight lines, really close together. And then I'm going to go back some of the places here. I want them to be just a little bit closer together. So you can go back in and add some extra lines too if you need to, if you made your spaces a little too big. Okay, that looks great. Now I'm going to add my petals. And if you notice, the edge of my paper is up here. So my petals are going to kind of go off of the edge of the paper. And I'm going to use that same, almost like a U shape, all the way around my sunflower. Now, when I get to this flower, you can see it's in the way, or at least we think it's in the way. We actually want this one to look like it's in the front and this one is behind. So I'm just gonna draw my line right behind it like that. And do you see how this flower now looks like it's in front of that one? Yeah, and then that makes it look like I have a whole bunch of sunflowers together in this picture. Again, the same thing here. When I get close to this flower, I'm just going to stop my line, and then we imagine it's kind of running back here behind the petals, and then go around and make it meet. And then the same thing back here. I'm just going to draw a line, and then I actually might make that big one peek out a little bit like this. Okay. So that's 2 sunflowers. I think now I'm just gonna draw some sunflowers on my own. So you be creative and fill in your page probably with about 3 more sunflowers in different sizes, and then we'll work on the vase together. Okay, we've got everything drawn here for our flowers. Now I'm going to come back in and with my Sharpie just kind of draw some lines here for my stems. And again, I'm going to make my stems look a little different too. I want to add some variety. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to draw a horizontal line that goes out like this. And then it curves back around and then comes down kind of off the page, and do a curved line over here off the page for my vase. Now it is ready to color in. I'm actually going to use some different markers I have. I have several different markers with some different shades of yellow today. But you can feel free to use whatever you have at home. If you have some crayons, maybe find some light shades of yellow, neon shades of yellow, gold, all kinds of different colors, and we're going to color our flowers in. If you don't have any yellow at your house, that's okay. You can color in your flowers however you'd like. Just make it nice and bright and colorful. So let's get to coloring. Okay, now that all my sunflowers are colored in, I'm going to now use purple, green, and blue to finish my picture. I'm going to use the green for my stems. I'm going to color my vase in purple because if you remember, purple and yellow are complementary colors on the color wheel, so they make each other look good. And then I decided to do a blue background to pay tribute to Van Gogh's blues that he used in his paintings that we saw. So now I'm going to finish up my picture and then we will be done. Okay, I'm all finished now with my sunflower picture that was inspired by Vincent van Gogh's. I hope you are too. As I was finishing coloring, the idea came to me that on the back side, all of our pictures are blank. So we have this lovely front where it's all beautiful and colored. So I encourage you to take your sunflower picture and either give it to someone at your house that might need a little sunshine in their day. Maybe mom or dad need some while they're working from home. You could write a message on the back or fold up your picture and put it in an envelope with the stamp and mail it to someone that you haven't seen in a while. Maybe a grandma or grandpa, maybe an aunt or an uncle. Or you could even fold it up and put it in an envelope and drop it off at somebody's house, like a neighbor or a friend that you haven't seen in a while. Don't forget, a great artist always signs their work, so make sure you sign your name on it. And if you're watching this on Facebook, you can have mom or dad share your picture in the comments below. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can send me an email, and I would love to see your artwork. Thanks for doing some sunflowers with me today, Lake Homa. Love you.